Hello students, today we'll discuss the chapter executive topic permanent executive, or we can say that bureaucracy. So today we'll discuss about bureaucracy. Who implement the decision of the ministers? First of all, we'll discuss or deals with the question who implement the decision of the ministers. The executive organ of the government includes the PM, ministers and large organization called the bureaucracy or the administrative machineries. It is the organ of government, and PM, ministers also part of executive organ, but they are political executive. A large organization called the bureaucracy or administrative officers or machineries, they also a part of executive organs. Already in the beginning of chapter we discussed that there are two types of executives, permanent and political. Today we discuss about permanent executives. To underline the difference between the machineries and military service, to differentiate the machinery, administrative machinery and military services, we consider the administrative machinery as civil service. Trained and skilled officers who work as permanent employees of the government are assigned the task of assisting the ministers in formulating policies. These administrative officers are trained and skilled, and they are the permanent officers of employee of the government. They recruit on the basis of long-term basis, and they are having the task of formulating the policies and implementing the policies, and in these works they assist the ministers also. In the parliamentary system, the legislature also exercises control over the administrations. In parliamentary system, legislature or we can say parliament have control over the administration, and the administrative officers cannot act in the violation of the policies adopted by the legislatures. The executives cannot, the bureaucracy cannot violate the policies made by the parliament. It is the responsibility of the ministers to retain policy control over the administration, and it is the duty of the ministers and the political executive to have control over the permanent executive. In India, the machinery is made politically accountable. The administrative machinery in India is politically accountable. They are accountable towards the political leaders. They have to do work according to the wishes of the political leaders and ministers. The bureaucracy is also expected to be political neutral. They cannot go with their political ideas or ideologies. They have to be neutral while working. In a democracy, ruling parties oftenly lose the elections. Obviously, there is a competition, and ruling parties oftenly in India lose the elections, and new government formed. After forming new governments, the new government also want new policies in place of policies of the previous government. Mostly, whenever new government is formed, they make new policies in place of the policies formed by the previous government or old government. In such a situation, it is the responsibility of the administrative machinery to faithfully and efficiently participate in the drafting the policy and its implementation. In situation when new government is formed, the government is changed, then all the administrative machineries or the bureaucracy has to faithful and with the new government also. If the new government is asking for the framing of new policy, then they had to participate in drafting the policy and their implementation also. They cannot refuse to frame new policy for new government. Provisions related to the public bureaucracy. To maintain or to ensure that bureaucracy will work efficiently, some rules are provided in our constitution. The makers of our constitution knew the importance of non-partisan and professional bureaucracy. Our constitution makers were knew that for their functioning well, to run the country, the bureaucracy must be non-partisan. Non-partisan means they should not take a side of any group or any organization or a political party, and they should be professionally bureaucracy. They should be trained or skilled also. That's why, so UPSC has been entrusted with the task of conducting the process of recruitment of civil servant for Government of India. That's why in our country, all civil servants are recruited by UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. This commission conducted the exam for the recruitment of civil servants. Similarly, public service commissions are provided for state also. In different state, public services commissions are there. These commissions recruit the officers for states. Members of public service commissions are appointed for a fixed term. This removal or suspension is subjected to through an inquiry. If you want to remove a civil servant, you want to remove or suspend, then there will be an inquiry made by judge of Supreme Court. Then Supreme Court judge, that the judge will be appointed by Supreme Court, and that judge will make an independent inquiry. On the basis of that inquiry, the member of Public Service Commission or UPSC can be removed or suspended. Constitution has provided provisions for reservation of jobs of Dalit and Adivasis. There are different types of civil servants categories are there. State officers are there. IAS, IPS are there. But to represent that and to ensure that weaker section and different section of the country should represent these jobs, some provisions are made in our country. In our country, Constitution has provided provisions for reservation of job for Dalit and Adivasis. Out of total jobs, some jobs are reserved for Dalit and Adivasis. Even for civil service and central government, out of total jobs, total seats, 27% of total jobs are reserved for OBC also. So reservation have been provided for women and other backward classes also. Some seats even are nowadays are reserved for women as well as for the physically handicapped people also. These provisions ensure that bureaucracy would be more representative. We have seen that some jobs are reserved for Dalits, for SC, some are reserved for ST also. Dalits, SC, ST. Some seats are reserved for women and some for OBC also. Nowadays are physically handicapped peoples also. So all these provisions ensure that bureaucracy would be more representative. Even the poor person also can have a chance to be elected as a member, to be appointed as a member of civil servants, to become a civil officer. And social inequalities will not come in the way of recruitment of civil services. ऐसा इसलिए भी किया गया ताकि देश के अंदर जो सिविल ब्यूरोक्रेसी है ज्यादा सभी वर्गों को उसमें रिप्रेजेंटेशन मिले और देश के अंदर कोई भी सोशल इनइक्वालिटीज के लिए कोई भी जगह ना बचे. सिविल सर्विस में रिक्रूट करते समय while recruitment in the civil services there should be no place for social inequalities. So we have learned that there is a independent commission UPSC that recruit the members or the bureaucracy officers, and then we learned that some seats are reserved for SC, ST, women, OBC and physically handicapped peoples. That's all for today students.